Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. This is episode 20. The series is going along very nicely. Into the last episode, we saw the filling in of Central Asia. We saw some stuff happen in Indonesia, an African civil war. We had this war between Ethiopia and the Eritreans. And we also had you guys finally uniting into one, and Sweden colonized Greenland. But in this video, we will see a big war happen, which will it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a flip flop. Anyways, if you guys think you're gonna enjoy this video, please subscribe, like, and do all that type of stuff because that is very helpful. Also, comment suggestions. So, just anywhere on the map. I mean, preferably not in the Americas yet. We will get there eventually, and by eventually I mean in a couple of episodes. Cause exploring waters is getting very it's happening a lot, and yeah. But anyways, so let's go ahead and take a look at the military alliances. So we can see that the Triangle Alliance exists, but most importantly, we can see that this exists too, which is the Square Alliance. And the Square Alliance is getting a little cocky because they just added somebody to their alliance. Actually, they added two people. That being this country right here, this gray Arabian country. Now, if you remember, this gray Arabian country it's a unified state. And they also had this pretty powerful nation right here, which is Iran, or at least northern Persia, whatever you want to call. That's not what I want to do. But yeah, anyways, those countries are now in the Square Alliance because they have gained the popularity, after seeing the invasion of this yellow country right here and the brutal things that this blue Arabian country did. The gray, the gray people, decided to join. What am I doing? Anyways, yeah, the gray country's scared that the blue country might come after them next. And for Iran, they just have the popular vote of the square team. There's also some rebels in Egypt and Israel, as well as, of course, the blue team, who are in favor of joining the square team. Yeah. And these alliances are starting to heat up. But an unfortunate event just happened for the Ottoman Alliance. The Ottomans are going to regain what? The Ottomans are going to start entering Russian territory in the north again, and they're just going to take this whole area. Once again, I have no idea what is happening with the border. But anyways, the Ottoman troops went into that territory, and they start entering into Pink territory as well, as this country is a very weak country on the world map, and they get fully taken really quickly. This swift action is really helpful for the Ottomans, as they don't have to worry about any of this up here. They really just have to worry about the southern threat. Luckily for them, this square country can only rely. They can only provide aid on this front. But anyways, why? Why did the Square Alliance do this? They were in peaceful terms. They were doing pretty good, but apparently the Square Alliance does not care. This is their last, if we don't win this, we know we're gonna be dead. But the Diamond Alliance didn't know this was coming, so the Square Alliance is having big successes in the start of the war. So the Square Alliance is going to have major successes in invading Cyprus. Now Cyprus is not as strong as the Ottomans, and they're not even in the top 10, surprisingly. While the Ottomans are 3, these guys are 9, so I guess that's cool. But yeah, the Ottomans have pretty good successes in the start of the war because they don't have they just don't have too much you know they don't have any people who are saying no to this because this was former Ottoman territory. People here want to be a part of the Ottomans still, so they accept them in. So anyways, over here the gray team will start to push into this territory right here, which was the former yellow team. They are especially focusing on these northern areas, as this is the most populated parts of this country. Turning on the cities layer, they do capture the former capital of the yellow team, and this is seen um as a success for the yellow citizens, even though they know they're gonna be a part of this gray country. And well, the gray country's probably you know, well, even if the Diamond Alliance wins, there will be lots of instability in this region, and who knows what will happen. But eventually, the Gray team is going to reach this city right here, and that's when they start to see pushback. So, this is the point of the war when they're starting to see pushback. Anyways, the Bulgarians and the Albanians will focus on holding this front right here. They do know that they're going to lose this panhandle, but eventually they can't get past. Okay, it's just bricked wall. But guess what? The Square Alliance, they have a trick up their sleeve, and that trick is adding two more countries. These countries include the Gold Team right here and Yemen. The Gold Team over here is the strongest country in the world. The Slovenians, they're not in the top 10, but they're very close. So the Gold Team is going to go ahead and push into the Slovenians, and they're doing pretty well. They do not see pushback in the start, but eventually the Slovenians are going to pull back troops from this front line over here to fight in the Gold Team. But by that time, the Gold Team has already captured another major city, and it seems like the Gold Team isn't as powerful as the world thought, but they're still a big, formidable force. Anyways, back over here in Arabia, the Gray Team has been pushed back into the northern areas right here. But it's not going as well as here in the southern region, as the Yemenis are pushing into this Blue Team territory. And the Blue Team requests aid from Egypt, and they get it, but they also have to supply their neighbors up north over here. So these Cypriots will push back in the coastal regions, but it's just not too much because the Ottomans have a lot more manpower than the Cypriots do. So they make another breakthrough, this time it's over here, and they get pretty far, even linking up their two front lines. Back over here on the Albanian front, the red team will push in to the Slovenians, as there's no troops, well, there is troops over there, just not as many, and it doesn't seem like the people over here want to be a part of either countries, but they'd rather be a part of Albania than they would for the Slovenians, and Slovenia's just not a good spot here, and they're not going to be in a good spot after this. Remember this country that got like wrecked? Well, they're back, and if they got wrecked, they were the ones doing the wrecking. They like capture like all of this northern land up here, and then also a little bit of land from the Lime team. But anyways, these guys are gonna mostly be focusing on Slovenia as they take all of this land right here back, and that is a lot of land, which is good for them. The Diamond Alliance is going to do a good job, and they're going to get they're going to get two new members. Those members being this Turkmenistan country, and then this Kazakhstan slash Uzbekistan country right here. So they join, and they are really just to distract this what is it, this orange country, this orange Iranian team, because the orange Iranian team is not very I mean they're stronger than these two countries, probably not by too much with this guy, but they're much stronger than this guy. And luckily for the orange team, or unluckily for the Turkmenistan country, the capital of Turkmenistan is it's way, like, it's really close. So the orange team will just be able to capture it really quickly. And the reason why they were able to do this and that the Turkmenistan people weren't able to push in is because of the fact that the orange team had intel of this. It went through the Caspian, and yeah. So, anyways, these guys will start invading a little bit more, but the Turkmens do put up a big defense, especially when the Turk or the Uzbeks get there, and they will not advance for now. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look back at the Cypriot front line. The Cypriots has pushed back in these central areas with their new front line, but it's just not going too well in the north, as a lot of these northern people don't want to be a part. And they start enlisting in the army, training, and fighting against their own country. And they just start getting obliterated once again. The Cypriots were never. What? The Cypriots weren't necessarily a really strong country, they just had a lot of population. But the green team has more willing citizens, so that's why the green team is able to make bigger pushes than the Cypriots are. Anyways, for more manpower, The square countries are gonna get or yeah, the square and the diamond alliance are gonna get more people to join their alliance. Like the diamond squad gets the brown team, while the blue team joins the squares. Now you might be wondering, why is the blue team joining the squares? You know, they fought against the squares. But the thing about it is they don't have they didn't have bad relations with the squares. In fact, they were pretty okay. The thing about it though, it was just too, it was too enticing. All that Catalonian land, you know, it's like it's just there. It was just there, and they wanted it, so they got it. Oh yeah, but now they will be fighting on this front line, which would be a very interesting part of the war. I don't think I don't think the blue team would have too much of an advantage, and their colony gets swept away. However, the naval front lines are it's so bad for the brown team. In fact, there's some rebels in this part of the country that don't want to be a part of the brown team. We'll just have to look at that eventually later. Anyways, with the new pink front line over here in Bulgaria, the Bulgarians will be able to push back, and they will be able to meet up with the pink team, which is really good. And they manage to kick the lime team out of their territory, and they just start invading the lime team and getting a lot of their former lands back. This was able to happen because a major breakthrough just happened on the Slovenian front line, and a lot of Lime Team's troops had to be sent from the Bulgarian front line over here to this new front line that is rapidly advancing towards the Lime Team, and eventually it gets there, as well as the meetups with the Pink Team right here. However, the Slovenians take back these two major cities, and it's just once again in the northern region. They're not having a good time in the northern region. In the southern region, it's going a little bit better for them. They are able to take a lot of their land back from the Albanians, and the Pink Team coming back over here to the Turkmenistan frontline. The Turkmens have pushed back on the coastal regions. However, they have not been able to get their capital back due to the fact that the Orange Team has a good defense in this area. Back over here on the Yemen front line, the Yemenis are once again able to push back the blue team, and they start rapidly advancing towards the capital. But that is when the blue team is going to lose. They're going to pull back a lot of the soldiers from this front line, which is going to allow the gray team to make an all-out push into this area. But it's also going to relieve the capital area because the blue team won't have to focus on the desert. They will just focus on their capital for right now, and the Yemenis are pushed back. However, it's just a lot for this blue country right here. They know they shouldn't have invaded the yellow team, and they will receive the consequences for doing that. As their allies in Egypt are trying to defend them, they're trying to defend this country, they're trying to defend the brown country, they're trying to defend Slovenia. It's just not going well for them. The Russians are defending the Lime team, as well as these two countries right here, and they're trying to make the naval landing. However, it is just too painful. It's just too painful for them. They're not able to do it. As the green team is once again able to make another large push into the Cypriots, and yeah, it's going well for the Ottoman Empire as they're able to capture a lot of land. But over here, it's not going so well for the square team, as this land right here is being taken back. If I can color the right thing, and there we go. It is getting taken back by the lime team. However, not all of it has, because, like I said, in these areas right over here, and in these areas, they still want to be a part of the Ottoman Empire. This areas right here wants to be a part of Bulgaria. These areas, well, they're never part of Albania, but I can tell you these areas want to be part of Bulgaria and Albania, but not as much as, say, these areas over here that were under the Ottomans for a long time. These were under the Greeks for a long time, but then got shifted to the Ottomans, or not the Ottomans, to the Greeks, and no, not the Greeks. That got shifted from the Greeks to the Bulgarians and the Albanians, as well as the Sicilians. And they more so they want to be a part of Greece, and they want to be a part of Albania and the Bulgarians. But some do want to be a part of those countries. Anyways, in the northern region, the civilians are able to push back, and they even capture the major city in this area, and they're almost able to cut the gold team off. But the pink team sees a strategical error in the Slovenians' plan, and the pink team is able to capture all of that. And this encircles actually a lot of Slovenian troops. There are a lot in this area to defend off the gold team. So the gold team will take all of that. And I'm just gonna cover this in the gold team, or at least some of it. But just know this was mostly done by the pink team. But anyways, both of the pink teams and the gold teams will reconnect up with their territory, and that was a major loss from the Slovenians. My chair just cracked. Oh no, I think I'm a big back. Anyways, the blue team has made a landing over here back in their colony. However, it is very harsh. It's a very harsh fight to deal with. But like I said, I just spoiled the plot. Oh no. Green Rebellion's back over here. They're back. Back over here, they're back. But anyways, yeah, they're here and they're ready to fight. They're ready to throw hands with the brown team, who made them die. So they start sieging the capital. So of course, the common theme in the series is that they're gonna have to pull back, and since they pulled back, it was a very sloppy pullout. I don't want to say that. See, I said sloppy pullout. Like, what am I expecting to get people to say? Anyways, yeah, these people start getting towards the capital. Eventually, they have a siege with the green team. Brown team does make a harsh fight. It's just not good, really. Anyways, back over here in the Ottoman area, the Ottomans are going to lose, or the Cypriots are going to lose all of their lands in Israel after a major strategical error. And the Ottomans are now, they're now invading the blue team. And after all their major cities except their capital are captured, the blue team will surrender. And this is a major error, or this is a major flaw to the Diamond Alliance. They are losing so many people in this war. They have pretty much lost the Cypriots. They have lost the blue team. They're losing the brown team over here. And they're also losing Turkmenistan as they have failed to convince the Turkmens that they're going to win this war. They don't think they are. And eventually, after half the country is captured, they will, of course, surrender over to the orange team. This guy will do the same. And Russia is not doing well. And that's further proven with the invasion. Yeah, so the Ottomans start invading this guy, the Russians, and the former Ukrainian land, and this is just not going well for the Diamond Alliance. They know they're gonna lose. What have these guys been doing over here? Honestly, I have no clue. They're probably just chilling. That's what I imagine them doing, and they won't have anything happen to them in the peace treaty. I will go ahead and say that. And the gold team has made another invasion, and this time it has gone all the way over towards Venice, and they are now making a elegant push over here into Slovenia, and their capital is captured. And the Slovenians do surrender. After the capital of the brown team is taken by the blue team, they will also go ahead and surrender. So there we go. And after the gold team starts to invade the lime team and start taking major cities, they will also surrender. Over here in Cyprus, they officially will go ahead and fall. So, yeah, womp womp, I guess. And remember how I said there's rebel groups in countries? Well, yeah, there is. And there is a rebel group, of course, in Egypt. Egypt has a rebel group, and it's in the southern region right here. I don't really know why there's a rebel group over here, but there is. It's just the southern Egyptian area. I guess they just don't feel like they're being treated but as good as the other people. And if they capture the Sinai Peninsula, and eventually Egypt will just go ahead and well, they're gonna get out the war. And now it's just the Russians versus, the whole Square Alliance. And, that's not good. So the Russians will sign peace with the Square Alliance. Let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. So the first peace treaty we're going to be looking at is the Blue Team peace treaty. So the Blue Team will still exist, but the Yemenis will take all of this, a good chunk, and they're becoming a pretty long country. The Gray Team will get all of the former Yellow Team, so that looks something like that. The Ottomans will get all of that. You might be wondering, well, how are they gonna get that? Well, of course, the Green Team right here, the Ottomans, will take all of that. They won't take all of Cyprus, but they will take all of their claim on the mainland Asian area, and they will also take Sinai away, or whatever it is, Sinai. I think it's called Sinai because Dark was yelling at me because I said Sinai. The Russians actually don't do as much. They do lose their little claim right here, And they also lose Crimea, which isn't good for them, but I guess womp womp. For the Orange team, they will be annexing all of this land here. Two major cities in the former capital of the country right here. So the Turkmenistan team will move their capital to this area right here. They don't want to move it here because, well, that's not a really good decision. This country has been on their expansionist route recently. The gold team right here is not going to lose anything. But let's look at the Egyptian peace treaty. So this is the peace treaty. Egypt is now very small. And, well, actually, I have a different solution to this. Yeah, so, sorry about that. I hated how it looked. I really did. Um, that red country, sorry, it will not exist. But anyways, this guy's capital is gonna be right here. Probably not a good location to put it, due to the fact that, well, you know, this guy. But actually, no, I'm gonna change it. It's gonna be right here. But yeah, so that will do it for the Egyptian peace treaty. It was very simple. Now let's go to this brown team. I'm wondering what this means. Well, the blue team will get that, and then the green team is making its return. They don't have their former capital. The former capital, I'm pretty sure, is in Carthaginian hands. But they are back and better than, well, not better than ever. They're weaker than ever, but they still do exist, so that's pretty good. Now let's take a look at the Slovenian peace treaty. Anyways, looking at the peace treaty, we can see that, well, Slovenia still exists, but the pink team will get all of this land right here. In fact, I'm going to give it a little bit more. So they get all of that area right there, and, that too. I don't know why that wasn't colored in. We see the gold team getting, I'm on the wrong way. We see the gold team getting all of this land. They get access to the Adriatic Sea. And, well, these borders are not looking nice, and there's nothing I can really do about that. So, yeah, we're just gonna have to roll with it. But over here, we see a familiar face pop up, which is the dark blue team. Now, they aren't in their correct location, but it should be okay. Now, unfortunately for them, they have zero major cities, so they're gonna go ahead and make their biggest town or whatever you want to call the village. They're gonna make it into their biggest, or they're gonna make it into a city, and then of course promote it. I was gonna say demote it, but they're gonna promote it to their capital. So yeah, now that Blue Country is back, not the same, but same color. So pretty much the same in the series, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to say the Ottomans took all of this green country, right? Or this green. I'm colorblind. Pink country. So, for the Treaty of Romania, or the Lime Team, the Bulgarians will get all of that. And that is actually a really nice chunk. They got a lot more land than they probably should have. But is that it for the treaty? I think that's actually it. But one more thing's gonna happen in this video, and you probably notice what's gonna happen. Actually, I'm not gonna make it brutal. The gold team is gonna go ahead and ask the white team if they can sell this one, and the white team is gonna say yes. So now the gold team's looking really sick, and they're actually looking pretty good now. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.